the league's owner, Eric Salama, and I'll be commentating you this race. And I'm gonna just quickly, before we start the session, actually gonna send a stream to the chat. So if you hear a little bit of silence, yeah, that's because I'm doing the streams to the chat. So yeah, if we can find the stream. There we go. EFL practice race. I'm gonna test the voice. So yeah. What? EFL practice race. I'm gonna test the voice. The voice is good. That's awesome. It's gonna take a while. It's very hard when you're not alone. So yeah, I'm just gonna send a stream right here. There we go. And now I'm gonna send it to the chat. I am not saying anything, so yeah, I'm a little bit. You can hear that I'm a little bit nervous about this. So, and we have first drivers in the track, and unfortunately we only have 11 drivers here today because like 12, 13 drivers said they can't make it and stuff like that. So yeah, we have to live with it, unfortunately. And Napoli has been disqualified from session for blocking the pit lane. Napoli has been disqualified from the session. Well, that's his qualifying over. I don't know what on earth happened there. Maybe he hit tunnel or something, but yeah, that's very unfortunate. And we have first drivers in the track, so now it's only 10 cars doing the qualifying. Not the most ideal what I expected for the first race, so yeah, sorry for Napoli. And yeah, we're still waiting for people to start the laps. I'm gonna enable the yeah, data and stuff like that. So yeah, Hartza is probably the first one who's gonna start a lap. And we have one viewer already, so welcome to the EFL stream. And I'm gonna send the links to the still to WhatsApp and everywhere else because people are just asking them. I really need like a second hand in this commentary job. Hopefully I'll get before the season starts somebody else to commentate with me. But now Hartza, the flying Finn, we have 3 of those. So actually 2 because Napoli's been disqualified. He starts his lap. Abu Dhabi, what I can say about it, 21 corner track as Hamtower has left the session. So I don't know. I forgot to put extra invites. I can't believe I can't put any more invites. Or did we? I believe I put friends only, so I'll put myself online. So I just informed Hamtower that he can join back to the lobby. Friends. One moment. As hard size in a lap. And we have 2 viewers already, as Hamza has left the session, but Hamza has been driving a very good lap. If you have any questions, just ask me about the league and stuff like that. As Hamza does a 57.4, the middle section. But yeah, well, this track's actually very good. It's a good balance of straight lines and corner speeds. As luckily Hunter joins back, so we have only one driver who's been disqualified at the moment, and it is Mr. Napla 185. And people joining, I'm sorry, I don't have many drivers right now because a lot of people can make it. And we have Toxic Tomato who's retired. That is Cameron Young, one of the favorites for the pole position, has actually retired. And Hatsa running right in that corner. I don't know is that a invalidation or not, but Hatsa does a 136.3, and that is current pole position. We'll see how his teammate Nexus Hardline is gonna yield. Is he gonna do better than him? But he loses a little bit the rear, and he does a 136.1, and that is with the medium tires. And I'm gonna see. And James Killer goes P3 with 138.5. Lewis, we'll see. He's dragging his teammate all along. Are they in a lap? No, they're not. Who is the other Force India? It's Chipsman Quancy, so we'll see. Is anybody else on a lap? No, actually, we'll follow Chipsman Quancy, the German, in the EFL, and I'm just opening my iPad so I can see the questions you guys have written to me, so bear with me. As Kwanzi is coming towards sector 1, and in sector 1 with medium hard tires is 17.7. And Toxic Tomato riding, he's very disappointed about retiring from the session, and again yellows in sector 2, sector 3, but doesn't look like nobody's retired. I don't know, Kwanzi did that corner pretty well. Is he just giving slipstream to his teammate or not? Because I believe is he slowing down? No, he's not. Okay, he's letting his teammate go. And so we follow Lewis Wasman. You might know him from IRL F2. So, very fast driver. Did very well today in IRL in Singapore. Shout out to any IRL viewers who watched the stream. So, as there's again yellows in sector 2, sector 3. You can notice that I haven't been commentating for a long time. It's been like a couple of months since I last commentated, so a little bit of nervousness from my side, but we'll see what Lewis Wasman does. Is anybody else close? Actually, Alfonso is starting his lap, I believe. Lewis Wasman in his racing point, coming towards corners 15 and 16. I mean 17 and 18. Now doing the corners 19 and 20. Runs a little bit wide, but I don't know is that corner cut invalidation or not, but we'll see what he does. He goes a little bit wide and he does a 136.8. So that's P3 for Lewis Wasman at the moment. As James Kilo is in the lap, Chipsman Kwanzi is just slowing down. Eduk, the Finnish force, the flying Finn, if you must say. I don't know about his pace, but I'm pretty sure that he's forced to be reckoned with. But his sector 2 time is 57.7. Pretty similar to what Hardline and Hartza have been doing, but currently McLarens have the 1-2. As he's coming towards corners 50, 60, 70, and there's a racing point in front of him, and he wants a little bit wide. Maybe, I don't know is that racing point in a lap or not, but actually try to hit Chipsman Kwanzi as he hits himself in the wall for some reason. Maybe trying to let him pass, and maybe he did it a little bit too late and not the way it was planned, but Eduk does 136.2 and it moves him to P2, but you have to remember he's with soft tires, and we'll see what Hamster can do. They are not a flying Finn, so we have a few flying Finns here today in the league. And if you're just joining, do not adjust the TV sets. This is EFL Division 1, only division we're running, and Hamster is getting good slipstream from the racing point, and we'll see what his sector 2 time is 57.8, but we have to remember he's doing with a soft tire, so it's basically same as Eduk is doing. So we'll see what this flying Finn in Ferrari, the next Kimi Räikkönen or next Mika Salo, you can choose whoever he's gonna be, and we have 4 viewers at the moment, so this is very good. Welcome viewers to EFL stream. I'm Eric, the league owner, the commentator of the night, aka Eric Gaines, the muscle man. Hunter is coming towards the corners 18 and 19. He does the next corners 20 and 21, doesn't run wide. And we'll see, is he going to nast pole position at the moment? He's coming towards the line, and he does a 126.3. It moves him to P3, but not enough for pole position, which is currently handled by Nexus Hardline with medium tires, so that's very impressive. Of course, 2 retirements of Toxic Tomato and Napla 185. The 2 Williams drivers are the last in the grid. I don't know is this realistic or not, but it's pretty realistic because Williams is usually the last team in a grid. Hunter is, Eduk is in his out lap, so now we're just waiting for people to finish the laps. So yeah, nothing at the moment. And if you want to join this league, just contact me in PSN or in Twitter, and you can contact me in PSN. My PSN is IRL _ Eric Salama. I can actually, basically I can show it now, so I can see my own PSN, but IRL Eric Salama _ Eric Salama. You can join the league, or you can write to the chat if you want to join this league. We plan to have 15 or 16 drivers today, but a lot of people saying that Sunday is a bad day for them. We're gonna have a next practice race in Wednesday. The track I haven't chosen yet what it's gonna be, but you're gonna find out that in Monday. So it's tomorrow you're gonna find out what day is the league gonna actually, the practice race is gonna be. I mean, what track it's gonna be. So yeah, and I'm making sure that you guys can hear me, because I've had think, yeah, the voice is pretty solid. A lot of people in the pits. We have Nexus Hardline in his lap. He's actually improving his lap. 57.1, he's improving by 4 or 5 tenths, but there's a racing point in front of him, and I do hope that the racing point realizes to get out of the way of Nexus Hardline, who is in his fast lap, as I can see from the telemetry that there's a racing point in his out lap, so I hope he's not gonna mess his lap, and I believe he's far away from him, I believe. But Nexus Hardline, astonishing pace from him with the soft tires. So he will not be starting with mediums. Well, then he's just gonna slow down in the end, but we'll see, we'll see. Oh, he was so much wide, but is that gonna be a new pole position tie? Yes, it is! 134.9! Unbelievable, over 1.3 seconds faster than P2, but we have to remember Toxic Tomato and Napla have not set at lap times because they've been retired and disqualified, so we don't know the true pace of this grid, and we have so many drivers missing here today, so that's very disappointing. But you get to race with 11 drivers, or 12, it depends who's gonna join afterwards. We have James Killer in his lap. I believe he's he's James Killer is in his lap with the medium tires. He's improving in the first sector by almost a couple of tenths. We'll see what his sector 2 time is gonna be. He's improving by 4.5 tenths, a little bit more, almost 5-10 improvement. So you will see a massive improvement from James Killer, who is an experienced league racer. Napoli is running to me while we had no feedback, no brakes, nice start. So his wheel is ducking him a little bit. I don't want to curse in international stream, but he has problem with wheels, calibrations and brakes. Yellows in sector 2, probably somebody just spinning. James Killer is coming towards the last corner. He's going to run it wide. No, he takes it very cautiously. He's coming towards corner 21, and he's going to challenge for pole position. There's yellows in sector 1, sector 2, and it is 36.6, and it moves into P6 position. But not enough, not enough. We'll see what Chiefsman Kwanzaa can do. There's Hatsa also in his lap. And we have 5 viewers at the moment, so welcome. You just joined the EFL. I don't know how many times I've just said how welcome to EFL. I'm the owner, Eric, but yeah, I've said it so many times, but of course because we're a new league, and I'm gonna just say once again that we don't have many drivers here today because many people said they can make for the first practice race, but expect a larger amount of drivers in the practice race 2 in Wednesday. So we'll see what James Killer can do. Or Hatsa, who is closer? Hatsa is actually improving by 5 tenths. And there's 4 minutes remaining in the session. So this is going to be very interesting who's going to snatch the pole position. Almost every single driver is in the soft strategy. There are half of the grid who is in softs and mediums, and half of the grid who are with hard tires, and there's just a couple who just retired from the session. But should be a very, very interesting race nonetheless. You can still race with 11 drivers. And now Hatsa's coming towards the last corner, and he's going to take pole position. No, he's not. 136 point flat, and he drops Eduk and Hamtara to P3 and P4. As Hamtara is in his flying lap. I want to see is anybody closer to him. Actually, James Killer is improving by almost a 1/10. We'll see, he's slowing down, so he's probably going to pits. Probably going to take the soft tires, not wanting to start with those tires. I don't know how wise it is to start with mediums or hards, because you will still start in top 11. Not many drivers to overtake, so Lewis Wasman coming to this corner, 17 and 18, and he runs a little bit wide. Coming towards the corner 19, runs so much wide, and I believe that's invalidation. I can't be sure that is that or is that not how much you can extend that corner, but no, it's he improved actually. And Chiefsman Kwanzaa goes to P3, so 2 racing points, doing excellent job with P2 and P3. So we'll see what Hamtara can do versus Hamtara. Hamtara splits the 2 racing points and moves himself to P3 position, and we'll see what Hatsa can do, or who else in the lap. There was similar quants, but we'll follow Hatsa first because he's gonna finish his lap last. And viewers who are watching, you can write the top 3 if you want, for in quali and in the race. And Hatsa is coming towards corner 20. does it very beautifully. Corner 21, and we'll see, is he going to improve his time? Yes, he does. He moves to P4 with 135.9, but where is Semil Arikan? He's improving by almost 5/10, and it was a little bit wide. Coming towards corner 21 with that beautiful red Ferrari. Is he going to match his teammate's time or not? And he moves P2 with 135.3. Very good lap, which moves into P2. Very good lap from the Ferrari boy. Where's Tishman Kwanzi? He's improving by 9/10, but I believe he's slowing down. He doesn't have any OS, so I believe that he's qualifying over. And Hunter, what on earth is he doing? Actually, is it just he's improving in the screen? But is there anybody else close to the finish line? Okay, there is Nexus Hardline. Alfonso Gomez is gonna start his only lap, but we'll follow what Kwanzi can do. Kwanzi is coming towards the line and he goes to the pits. Edukin is in his out lap. James Killer is in his out lap. Yellow flags once again. I believe it's the Red Bull causing the yellow flags of James Killer. There's a lot of drivers in the out lap, so we'll just follow Alfonso Gomez, how he's gonna do. I know Alfonso from Simulation Leagues and from UPL. He's a multiple-time UPL race winner and very fast driver for the league. He will be forced to reckon with. There's of course many fast drivers on the racing here today, like Rick Mill, Viati Chappelle, Erduk 39, and I can't be asked to name all of them, but many potential drivers who could fight for wins not driving here today. And Pro Yaska, of course. So yeah, but we'll see what Alfonso is going to do in his Sector 2 time. He's going to do Sector 2 time. He's going to be 56.8 and he's improving 1.1 seconds, so he might be challenging for pole position. And he was a little bit wide, but in my opinion the game allows you to run wide in that corner section. Or if it doesn't, if he has enough fuel, he can still do one lap. Maybe. And there's yellows in Sector 2, so somebody has spun it. A lot of people in the pits, so not many people doing any more laps. There are like only Eduk, James Killer, Alfonso and Nexus Hardline who are in the lap, so 5 drivers already decided to quit the qualifying, save the tire sets for the race, and we'll see what Alfonso can do, and it's going to be pole position time. Yes, it is! 134.4, and it's not just the current pole position time, but how is Nexus Hardline going to challenge him? Is he going to have the cojones to take P1, and Alfonso retires from the session, thinking it's all over, I'm going to take pole position, and Nexus Hardline has retired from the session, so now it's only James Killer who might challenge for pole position, but we'll see. Is it going to be cojones or is it going to be testicles who's going to take the pole position? And I have no idea what I just said, but because I believe Alfonso is Latino, they say cojones, and Chipsman Kwanzi is retired from the session, so it's only James Killer who might snatch pole position from the Spanish Alfonso Gomez. So we'll see what James Killer can do in his final lap, and there's a racing point in the wall, but luckily it doesn't affect in this game that you have to slow down, and he's improving 8/10 of his personal best, but we'll see, is it going to be enough for pole? Because you can still improve so much in the last section. The Sector 3 is so crucial as Eduk retires. That's Eduk's qualifying over. And Alfonso Wadin, GG mate, he thinks that it's pole position, but we'll see what James Killer can do. Is James Killer gonna snatch the pole position from the young Spanish driver? He's coming towards corners 19 and 20. He's coming towards corners 20. Is he gonna run wide? No, he's not. He's coming towards corner 21. He's gonna snatch pole position. He wants a little bit wide, and he's gonna be pole position. No, it's not, but it is P3 for the Red Bull driver. So Alfonso Gomez, in his first practice race, takes pole position in the Yas Marina Abu Dhabi. Unbelievable, just unbelievable. So you're great for the race. Alfonso P1, Nexus Hardline P2, James Killer P3, Semil Arikan P4, Lewis Wasserman P5, Hamza P6, Hatsa P7, Chipsman Kwanzi P8, Eduk P9, and 2 drivers who are retired and disqualified are Toxic Tomato and Napla 185. And Eduk has some reason left the session, for some reason, maybe a lag or something, but he can join back if he makes it in the race. So I'm just gonna take a screenshot quickly, and I'm gonna write to Eduk that he can join back because it's friends only and I'm online. I assume there's gonna be some lag issues, so that's disconnection, so I made it friends only. I'm just gonna go. So yeah, and Alfonso Wading, he messed up 2 corners. That's true, you did a very good lap, but yeah, of course, Toxic Tomato and Apple couldn't make the laps, but congratulations, it was a very good lap. And of course, we first have formation lap. We don't have any breaks in EFL. You can just start your lap if you want. But very unfortunate for Eduk for disconnection or something. So 22 seconds for the stream. Oh, 22 seconds for the race. Eduk is still not coming back, so I don't know what's happening with there, but there's gonna be formation lap of course now, and I hope so that there's gonna be formation lap. Yeah, it is formation lap. As we're following, I'm trying to get different camera angle for the race. I really can't understand why the game doesn't allow me to go to, there we go, broadcast mode. So Alfonso Gomez took P1, Nexus Hardline P2, James Killer P3, Semi Lavican P4, Lewis Wassman P5, who spins and hits the wall and rejoins back to the grid. Hamster P6, Hatsa P7, Zipsman Konzu P8, Toxic Tomato P9 and Napla P10, because everybody moves up position because Eduk has left from the session or disconnected from the session, so yeah. You can write your favorite driver to win, or who do you think is going to win the first practice race in EFL. We have 10 drivers, 10 best drivers in the world just driving for us. Yellow's a sector 2 already, so somebody's going slow. I believe it's how is Red Bull ahead of? I believe James Killer wanted to. That will not be allowed in the league when the official league race starts. You cannot overtake a formation lap position, but because it's practice race, I assume accidents may happen sometimes. But I hope it's not gonna happen. We're gonna give penalties for that. And somebody just moved out the barrier, but I'm still trying to get the drivers Eduk back to the grid. Hopefully he'll make it back. If not, then we're gonna drive with 10 drivers. And there's a massive crash between I have to make very clear about that. Oh, was it a crash? No, he just spun. I assumed it was a crash, but no, he just spun and he tries to get back to position. So, the first practice race starts soon in EFL. Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Let's get ready to rumble! As we have Alfonso Gomez, Nexus Hardline, James Killer, Semi Lavican, Lewis Wassman, Hamter, Hatsa, Zipsman Kwanzi, Toxic Tomato, and Napla 185 lining up the grid. And the lights will be out soon as we're waiting the 2 Williams cars to go to the last grids. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And lights out, and away we go for the Grand Prix of Abu Dhabi, and it looks like the Mercedes driver Alfonso Gomez got a bad start as Nexus Hardline with the McLaren overtakes him already, and we've seen the tires what people are using, and there's a massive fight for P3 between a Red Bull and a Ferrari, and there's a massive crash in behind. I want to see what's happened, and it's Hamter who spun. Hamter got a 5-second penalty with collision with Toxic Tomato, so that's not good for him, and there's another yellow flags. What's been happening right here? It's probably just Hamter spinning, but very unfortunate for his race. But yeah, Nexus Hardline lines up from Alfonso, James Kilo, Semi Lavican, Lewis Wassman, Zipsman Kwanzi, Napla, Hartza, Toxic Tomato, Hamtara, and there's a 2 racing points almost going side by side. So there's Zipsman Kwanzi who's trying to line up a maneuver on Lewis Wassman, and we'll see, is he gonna down the inside? Is he gonna make the dive bomb happen? Yes, he is, and ooh, they almost touched, but luckily they avoided a collision. And we'll see how the two racing pods are going to do. And there's a Ferrari and Red Bull fighting for P3. There's Semi Larrican and James Killer going side by side. And we have Lo and Nico. I don't know who on earth that is, but they're going side by side. And beautiful overtaking maneuver from Semi Larrican, overtaking James Killer for P3. And we have Alfonso Gomez, who took the place back from next to start line, and they're going side by side in corner 15. That was unbelievable switch back from Nexus hardline. What a maneuver from the McLaren driver as Lapla 185 takes a 5-second penalty for exceeding the track limits. But what an overtaking maneuver from Nexus hardline. Alfonso taking the position, but then Nexus hardline doing the switch back on corner 15, and we have Toxic Tomato overtaking Harcha for P8 as Nexus hardline sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, which is 142.6. As Alfonso Gomez follows, behind him is Semi Larrican, behind him is James Killer, the two racing points of Lewis Wasserman, Chipsman Quansi, Napla in P7, Toxic Tomato in P8, Hunter in P9, and Harcha pitting for Newfound Wing, and we have Chipsman Quansi, who's retired from the session, and Lewis Wasserman also. So what on earth happened between them? Did they crash with each other, or what happened to two racing points? The two racing points have crashed out from the session. Not the start I was hoping for this league, for this practice race, but accidents may happen. They do happen, and there's a Ferrari going slowly. Hamto in P7 already. Napoli has moved up to P4, and we have a massive fight between Alfonso and Nexus hardline for P1 position. I will have to find out after the race what happened to those fellas, as there's no gaps. There are really big gaps between after P2 to P8. So 8 drivers remaining in only lap 2, which is not good to see, if I'm honest. But yeah, the two Williams cars of Napla and Toxic Tomato following James Killer, and Napla in medium tires is doing very good pace. And now we're gonna see team orders between the two Williams drivers of Toxic and Napla. Napla has the pace to challenge for podium, and Lewis Wasserman has left from the session. He's frustrated, crashing with his teammate, I assume, as Alfonso still following Nexus hardline. I think this is like chess and checkers. You're just waiting what your opponent is gonna do, and you try the maneuvers in pit lane or in straight line and wait for mistakes. What's gonna happen in the race? Find out. There's still 25 laps remaining of this Grand Prix, and I'm gonna follow what's gonna happen between Toxic Tomato and Napla. Napla, they made a team order. They've switched positions because they're both in a different strategies. Napla is gonna have a first long stint, and Toxic Tomato short stint, as he's already challenging P3. Started from P10 and now already challenging P3 of James Killer. He's gonna dive up the inside. No, he's not. He's waiting for the straight line to get the DRS. As Hartza moves up P7 because Semi Larrican is pitting. He is pitting. As Toxic Tomato is opening his DRS. Is he gonna get past the Red Bull driver? Yes, he is. But is James Killer gonna make a switch back in the next straight line? Oh, pushing him wide a little bit. Pushing him wide. That moves Napla to P3. I have no idea what on earth happened in that situation, as Toxic gets 3-second time penalty for that. I don't know. I'm not pretty sure what happened in that situation between James Killer and Toxic Tomato, but it looked like James Killer turned in a little bit on as Toxic Tomato dives up the inside of Napla. Napla doesn't boot any fight and lets him go, as Toxic is a little bit furious probably about that 3-second time penalty. But of course, if he has the evidence, it might get removed if that fault was actually James Killer's. But it happened so quickly, I'm not sure what happened in that situation. But 2 drivers retired, a couple had incidents, and 8 drivers remaining in the session, as Eduk lagged out unfortunately and couldn't join back. As still, Nexus hardline leads from Alfonso, and Toxic is in P3, and Napla makes the fastest lap of the Grand Prix of 141.4. So Napla is coming strongly. The force is strong with this one. The young Padawan is growing up to Master Jedi. And I'm getting a lot of messages. I want to make sure what happened in the start. Some people are not happy how some people are acting in this race, but we'll get it done after the race, as Hartz sets the fastest lap of 148.1. But luckily there's a good fight. There's yellows in sector 2, and it is James Killer, and Hamso gets past him. He made a lot of mistakes. I hope he finishes the race, that he doesn't give up. Hartzer gets a 5-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Assume the corner cutting is strict, so yeah, and there's two Williams drivers going side by side between Napla and Toxic Tomato. They don't have any team orders. There's no ball, there's no hold spot in EFL between Williams drivers and Toxic Tomato. Got again passed off Napla 185. Well, that means that these guys are fighting. That means that Alfonso and Nexus Hardline are pulling away. 4.7 seconds to Alfonso, and Nexus Hardline's pace is very good. It's very impressive to see it. I like it. It's very good to see that we have newcomers who challenge like this, and James Killer has retired from the session. And Toxic Tomato gets another 3-second time penalty. And safety car is on, and a new safety car would be very good for this race, as we have only 7 drivers remaining in the session at the moment. But I do know that after this race we're gonna go up some stuff. We're gonna discuss how to drive, because it's a little bit too aggressive in my liking. But of course it's only practice race, so that's why we're having this, so we're gonna avoid them in when real league starts. So as now Napla is 1 second behind of his teammate. And we'll see, is he gonna get the arrest from him? No, but he's catching, Toxic is catching Alfonso, and Alfonso is staying up with Nexus Hardline, so we might have a 4-car strap for the win. As Samuel Arikan does the fastest lap of 1:38.9, which is a very impressive lap. So we're gonna see a lot of drivers doing 2 or 3 stoppers here today. Alfonso's just keeping up 2 seconds, 1.1 seconds to Nexus Hardline. Probably waiting on a pit lane, pit strategies after 6-7 laps, trying to get the overcut or undercut on Nexus Hardline, because you have to know how to drive with the medium set, also hard set, how else you're gonna drive. And I'm quickly writing to the chat that people would calm down, because there's a huge fight going on. So yeah, if you guys are watching the stream, please don't spam the chat. We're gonna discuss tomorrow about racing incidents and stuff like that. But yeah, now we have lap 6 out of 28 going on. Napla in P4, Toxic Tomato P3, Alfonso Gomez P2, and Nexus Hardline P1. And Toxic Tomato is catching so rapidly to Alfonso Gomez, it's unbelievable. He's taking 8/7 each lap. So I don't know, did they have some kind of damage? He was a little bit wide, but doesn't look like his front wing is fine. And Nexus Hardline is just in a league of his own at the moment, but of course it's a long track, 1 minute 40 track approximately, and anything can still happen. And Napla is only 9/10 behind Toxic Tomato, so Napla has found some pace in this track. I assume that Napla would be one of the backmarkers, and James Gill has left the session. He's a little bit frustrated about what happened, but Napla keeping up with his teammate. Probably now the medium tires are starting to work and softs are a little bit yielding down, or then Toxic Tomato did get damage from, and he uses a lot of EOS. He has 14% EOS left, Napla has over 46, and Samuel Arikan gets a 3-second time penalty. Are they gonna make a team order switch in Williams garage or not? That's the thing. They are catching the front pack, so I don't know what would be the wise maneuver, to let your teammate go or just fight for the position, I guess, because car selections are not complete. I guess you fight for position, as Alfonso is losing a lot of time to Nexus Hardline right now. It's lap 6 out of lap 28. Samuel Arikan is 11 seconds behind Hartza, and Hartza is 8 seconds behind Hamto. Hamto is 40 seconds behind Napla, and Napla is actually, Toxic is pitting, and Alfonso is pitting also, so the tires are done after 6 laps. The tires are done, ladies and gentlemen, so we'll see, is he gonna change his front wing or not? No, he's not. He didn't have any front wing damage. And we'll see what actually, that was Alfonso. Now we see Toxic. Is he gonna change the front wing? No. And Sifman Quanti is leaving the session. We'll see where they're gonna rejoin. They're gonna rejoin. And Hamto is pitting also, so all of these drivers are gonna have a lot of gap with each other, and Hamto is serving his 5-second stop and go penalty from lap 1 collisions. As now Toxic Tomato, Semilar, Hamtower are in a new, and of course Alfonso Gomez are in a fresh set of tires. So now we're gonna wait when Nexus Hardline pits. Yeah, 20 more laps remaining, and we'll see how his lap times are gonna compare. I'm gonna watch how the corner's gonna go with Hardline. So even though there's not so many drivers left in the session, it's gonna be interesting battle for the win, because we have so many drivers in so many different strategies. And Napla is only 4.7 seconds behind Nexus Hardline, and Napla started from P11. He was disqualified from the session in the beginning, and that was Hardline. Hardline has crashed. Hardline has crashed, ladies and gentlemen. That's his tires over. His tires are done, and he might have to change his front wing because of that. That was very unfortunate mistake by Nexus Hardline, but if he can be happy that it happened in the last corner, but he lost around 7 to 8 seconds, but that was unbelievable from Hardline. Unbelievable mistake, so that means Napla, and he gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in a pit lane. Are they going to serve it in the pits or not? We're going to see right now, but very unfortunate for the battle of the win here today. Are they going to change his front wing? Yes, they are, and we'll see where he's going to rejoin. Toxic Tomato moves to P3, Alfonso Gomez to P2. But I hope he doesn't give up. Hardline in P4, Nexus Hardline P5. There's a lot of drivers, almost every single driver has had a mistake here today in EFL. And we'll see where he rejoins. He's going to rejoin ahead of Hamtower. Yes, he is. He rejoins back in P6. So that moves Arikan to P5. But he's going to get past Arik, and he's going to dive up the inside. I really hope he's going to wait for the straight line. Yes, he is. And now Toxic is only 7 tenths behind of Alfonso Gomez, but Toxic is with softs and Alfonso is with mediums, and they're going to switch the walls in the end. As Napola, the only one who hasn't pitted, is leading the Grand Prix by 13 seconds to his nearest rival, Alfonso. It might be a Williams 1-2 after this corner, so we'll see. Is he going to make the maneuver stick to the corner 40? Corner to 11. Is he going to dive up the inside? Yes, he is. Don't go for the maneuver. Don't go for the maneuver. Ooh, that was a very close one. That was a close one. I know you're in a fast tire, but you have to be a little bit patient. You can't just overtake in a tight corner like that, but luckily nothing happened. Oh, this is last corner where you really want to overtake, but this is tremendous battle between these two drivers. It's Mercedes against Williams, like in the old days, and Nexus Hardline gets a 3-second time penalty, and he's wide behind his teammate already soon. He's getting past Ferrari, so McLaren P5 and P4, and now, Toxic Tomatoes really pressurizing his teammate. They're still catching Napola, but we'll see who's gonna come top in this battle. Who has the bigger cojones? Who has the cojones to be P2 at the moment? Both of these drivers are using a lot of VRS. Other one is burning, other one is saving, but they're both using tremendous amount of VRS at the moment. And basically Toxic Tomato is just pushing Alfonso from the straight line, and he's gonna try to overtake on the inside. No, he is not. He's waiting for the better opportunity. Alfonso is placing his car correctly, and basically Toxic has to lift off, not to ram Alfonso, but in this straight line, the maneuver should be done, or then he's gonna wait for the next straight line. He's using the DRS, he's using the slipstream, he's using the overtake mode in his car. He's gonna dive up the inside. Yes, he's looking for the maneuver, he's faking it. He's making sure that Alfonso won't get a switch back on the next straight line. And now he's opening his DRS, using the slipstream and all. And how is Alfonso gonna place his car? Will he make him overtake on the inside or outside? And who's gonna yield in this battle? Who has the bigger cojones? This is EFL. We are racing side by side, and who's gonna give up? And it is great overtaking maneuver from Toxic Tomato. And Alfonso had to take a 3-second time penalty to not cause a collision. But that was a beautiful maneuver from Toxic Tomato, and Williams has P1 and P2 at the moment. Very, very, very good stuff from the two Williams drivers. And there's basically 3 drivers at the moment who are fighting for the win. It is Napla, it is Toxic Tomato, it is Alfonso Gomez. Oh, and he's crashed! He's crashed! Alfonso Gomez has crashed! Unbelievable scenes! He's doing the 360! What on earth, these drivers are doing big mistakes at the moment, and that will move Hatsa to P3 because he will have to pit. He lost a tremendous amount of his front wing, and I hope he won't give up. He's pitting, but a lot of drivers making big mistakes in the last corner. I don't know what it is, but in the lap corner 20 or corner 19, where people do massive mistakes, and that will mean that Napola will rejoin back in P3. So it's a fight between the Williams drivers. He's rejoining back in P2 and Alfonso retires from the session. He retires from the session. That's why we have only 6 drivers remaining in this Grand Prix so far. And it's a 2-horse fight or 3-horse fight for the win. It is between Toxic, it is between Napola, it is between Nexus Hardline and Semilarik and Huspan, and almost ramming to his teammate, and that moves Hamter to P5. So the question is, at this rate, is anybody gonna finish the first race in EFL? It's as a league owner, it is kind of frustrating watching this kind of stuff, but then it is kind of entertaining to watch this kind of stuff, because this is real racing. But we have down it, the Pats and Hartza and Napola going side by side, and Napola getting past his teammate. But yeah, now Toxic Tomato has to make a big gap to Napola, and Hartza, it might be a finish P2, P1, or finish P2 and P3. So it's unbelievable. And I'm getting messages, and Alfonso writing he had to go, that's why he crashed out. So he's doing basically a Nelson PK. So basically, I didn't know this, but the standings or the current field is in the teams: 2 Williams drivers in P1, P2, 2 McLaren drivers P3 and P4, and then 2 Ferrari drivers in P5 and P6. Is this a yield for the future? Like, are people gonna... Is this gonna be the 2020 grid? Williams taking wins, then followed by McLarens, and then followed by Ferraris, and then Mercedes, Red Bulls and Racing Points. Find that out when the real season starts. But Toxic Tomato has over 13-second gap to his teammate, but we have to remember his time penalties. Napola also has, but I believe Toxic has a little bit more than Napola, so it will be a great fight for the win in the end. As Hartza is in P3. Semilarik competes for Newfoundland once again. I want to see how many pit stops. How can I see how many stops he's made? He's made... See, it's his 2nd stop in this Grand Prix, and the 2 McLaren drivers are switching up positions as that moves Nexus Hardline to P3. He's only 3 seconds behind of Napola, so he can still come back to fight for the win or fight for P2. Find that out in the end, as we'll see where Semilarik rejoins. He might be lapped soon if he's not careful. Yeah, he's pretty close being lapped, so only thing what can save Semilarik's race is the safety car. We've seen so many drivers making mistakes in this corner 18, corner 19 combinations, but Toxic Tomato avoided the mistake. Still 70 laps remaining of this Grand Prix, and there's potential fight between P3, between Nexus Hardline and Hartza. So, if you're watching the stream, you can write who do you think is gonna win this Grand Prix. But yeah, it's kind of annoying to see that the fight will only start after like 8 laps or 7 laps, because it's like strategy game, as Hartza pits for new set of... Did he make a mistake? No, he's pitting for new set of mediums. So what tires did he start on? He started on... Okay, he started on soft, so he will be going to the end with these mediums. So that moves Hamter to P4 at the moment. Hartza moves to P5, so a lot of Finnish drivers in the top 5 at the moment. 3 Finnish drivers racing and 3 Finnish drivers in the top. Of course, we have like 15, 16 drivers who can't make it here today, and 10 only who made it, and Toxic Tomato takes another penalty, and Napola starts to catch him. So now once again Napola has the advantage, because Toxic Tomato's tires are probably going, because in Abu Dhabi the softs can only do around 5 to 6 laps before medium starts to be faster than the soft tires. But yeah, there's potential fight actually. Hardline is catching Napola. This is actually... Hamter is 60 seconds behind of Hardline. I know, safety car might actually come out. Sometimes the safety car glitches in this game, that it might come out before the... Even though nobody crashes out, there's some glitches, so hopefully safety car will come out. As Napola does a 139.3. Toxic Tomato is doing same lap times with Napoli at the moment. I'm just quickly gonna check what's the lap time difference between these two drivers. As he does 1:39.9, Napoli does a 1:39.3, so he's 6 tenths quicker with the mediums at the moment. But who will have the advantage in the end? We have one driver who's gonna have, I believe, is Napoli such a badass, such a good tire savior that he can drive 18 to 19 laps with mediums and then take softs, and then Toxic Tomato pitting lap 16, lap 17 and taking mediums. So they're gonna switch the tires, and Napoli will do from mediums to softs, the softest set in this race. If he can do that, I believe Napoli has very good chances of winning this Grand Prix, winning the first practice race in EFL, as Toxic taking so many penalties at the moment. You don't know what's gonna happen, but I will say this, two Williams drivers have shown here today, even though with 10, 11 drivers, that they're forced to be reckoned with, at least here today. We don't know how it's gonna change when the season actually starts, because there's still almost 1 month before the season starts, so... But it's good to have practice races, to see people's levels, to make people race, even though a lot of people have crashed out, some lagged out, and... But yeah... Nexus is losing a lot of time to Napoli. Hartza is catching Hamtawa with his new set of tires, so that's a potential fight, as Napoli takes a 3-second time penalty. So Napoli is also taking penalties. Abu Dhabi not the easiest track not to take penalties, as Hartza is basically pushing Hamtawa in the corners, and he's gonna try to run the outside and run the inside. He's gonna try the corner 18. Yes, he does. He cuts a little bit. He does. He leaves Hamtawa the space, and he made a fantastic maneuver in him. McLaren on Ferrari like in the olden days. And Hamtawa leaving enough space for him to make the maneuver, so clean fighting between the two Finns, as Hamtawa pits probably for in the last time for the medium set or the hard set. We don't know what tires he's gonna take. He's gonna take the medium and he's gonna pull away to the end. Now Hamtawa actually has very good chances of finishing in top 5, but the racing has been, it's been like a Germany 2019, a little bit of crashing, maybe Brazil 2019 more, as Toxic Tomato almost losing the car, and Napoli is catching him all the time. We'll see. Has Napoli done a pit stop? He's done 1 pit stop, so he's all okay. So Napoli did a pit stop in lap 9, okay. So he will probably drop to lap 18, so he's already done 1 stop, so he's gonna take the softs, and Toxic Tomato hasn't applicated the tire wool, so he will take the mediums. And both drivers having more equal amount of penalties. It's gonna be a straight fight for the win at the moment. And also, we don't know what's gonna happen. If Napoli and Toxic Tomato crash with each other, it might give positions for Nexus Hardline, Hearts and Hamtawa to finish in a podium. So you never know what's gonna happen. And the Silos is sector. And it's Toxic Tomato who's crashed! Toxic Tomato has crashed! What on earth has happened to Toxic Tomato? What on earth has happened to Toxic Tomato? He's just pulling off. He got a 10-second time penalty, and that moves Napoli to P1. What on earth? Did he lose the car in the corner? That was a commentator jinx. What on earth happened to Toxic? He's just got a 10-second time penalty, and we'll probably hear in the podium interviews if he makes it to the podium what really happened between him. That surprised me a little bit. Toxic Tomato's mistake. He was comfortable in the lead, just had to keep it on the track, and probably oversteering setup and couldn't do anything about the spin. But actually Napoli starting from last place, getting disqualified, didn't even do qualifying. He's leading the race, like watching the pit stops, and he will have the first tire in the end. And he has over 3-second gap to his teammate. So that's unbelievable, but I can say that Toxic Tomato's 10-second time penalty will be getting removed, because he had to rejoin back to the track, so minus 10 seconds removed from Toxic Tomato, like I said right now, so, and it will be patched right away after the race. Next is Hardline, and Toxic Tomato is spinning. Did he lose a front wing in that nonsense or not? He will have to do earlier pit stop, and he's gonna get a 5-second penalty. Yes, he does. 5-second penalty for speeding in a pit lane. So many penalties for Toxic Tomato. It's just unbelievable. And he's gonna change his front wing. No, he's not changing front wing, but alright. And Nexus Hardline is speeding, and he's having his 5-second penalty. We'll see where that's gonna move Hartza to P. I believe is it P3 or P2. Is Finnish drivers gonna get P1 and P2 or not? No, they're not. Toxic Tomato joins back in P2, 24 seconds behind on Napla. And is Hartza gonna try to make the maneuver out the inside of Toxic Tomato? No, he's not. He was more clever than that. Toxic Tomato defended very well, but Toxic Tomato has to drive like animal because he has so many penalties, so many stop and goes. So in this point, he might actually. What happened to Toxic Tomato saying he has to go. He has to leave from the session. Alright, so just retire the car where you see fit. And after this we're gonna have 5 drivers remaining in the session, or did he go as AI? Very unfortunate race here today. We have half of the grid basically retired. More than half of the grid because we had 11 or 12 drivers and a couple of them didn't even make it for the race, so oh my god, what a driving. But yeah, luckily this is only practice race and these things do happen. Can't say I'm happy about this, what's been happening, but Toxic Tomato probably will retire in a pit lane or something, or just as the Nexus Hardline gets a 3-second penalty once again, as Nexus Hardline is retiring from the session. That will move up Nexus Hardline to P3, Hunter to P4 and Samuel Arikan to P5, and we have 6 drivers basically retired, 1 DNS and 5 retirements. So we have, and alright, so yeah, it's cool, man, it's cool. It's a quick notice, and I do understand that. And it's only practice race, and I do know that the Nexus Hardline has left from the session. Nexus Hardline is retired from the session. What on earth happened to Nexus Hardline? What on earth happened to Nexus Hardline? Where did he retire? No way. No freaking way. And we have finished 1, 2, 3 in the session. 4 draws remaining in the session. And I'm running to EFL chat that we will unbelievable. We have Hanapala leading from Hartza, from Hamtara, from Semilarikan. So I'm really shocked. I'm just I'm just speechless. I mean, I'm finished, but still, it's not the way I want to see finish 1, 2, 3. But I'm happy to see finish 1, 2, 3. But I hope I can get Nexus Hardline to the chat so I can ask him what really happened. So quickly, I'm just quickly gonna go invite Nexus Hardline. What happened to him? I'm sorry guys, you're not seeing the stream, but one moment guys. And we have 2 people, we have 4 people remaining in the session at the moment, as Napla is leading by 27 seconds to Hartza, and Hartza has over 21 seconds to Hamtara, and then, well, potential fight is going to be between, and we have Nexus Hardline joined to the party. Hi, do you have your voice sharing on? You have? Can you explain what happened to you in the race? You have to go off. Alright, so cheers for that. Okay, thank you. Have a good evening. Yep. So there we go, you got a quick chat from Nexus Hardline. We got one driver to the interview, or basically to the commentary chat. We got the interviews from them. It's like new technology you get when the driver's retired. You immediately put a mic to his face, and he just said he had to go, so that's why he retired. So If that's the case, we have to discuss when the races are going to be held in a future in the league. But there's 4 drivers remaining in the session. 7 drivers have retired because we had 1 DNS of Eduk. And we are now just waiting for these drivers to finish the Grand Prix. Napola is just driving without EOS. Harta is driving with low EOS, and Hunter. Everybody's driving their own way, so I really hope that some safety car would come out or something, because I want to see a good fight till the end. And as I said, is anybody gonna finish the race? Well, Jesus Christ, guys, in this rate nobody's gonna finish the race. This is like yeah, as Napoli is still not pitting, he's waiting, he's probably waiting till lap 20 to lap 21, and it looks like at the moment easy victory for Napoli, 185. I don't know does it matter or not, but you guys can write your driver of the day in the chat if you want. For me at the moment it has to be either Hamtaro or Napoli. So yeah, 9 laps remaining in this Grand Prix. And the time is already almost 11 PM my time, so Napoli is starting his lap 20. He's not pitting. Napoli is not pitting, has he? He's not obligated the time. Well, yeah, he's with 2 medium sets. Napoli has the 5-second stop and go penalty, but at the moment it doesn't matter because he has over 28-second gap to McLaren's Harzer, and then over 50-second gap almost to Hamtaro, and then over 1 minute gap to Semi-Larrican. So yeah, as Harzer pitting, didn't get a 5-second penalty this time, and it will move Hamtaro to P2, but of course he will have the soft tires. And he's chasing a front wing, so he made a mistake. He's made a mistake, ladies and gentlemen. And that will probably move Hamtaro to P2. Yes, it is. Hamtaro is currently P2. We'll see how he's going to survive the tunnel. Or is he going to survive the tunnel or not? Yes, he is. He will have softs in the end. And Hamtaro has over 6-second lead to Harter, and I believe Harter might be able to catch him. It's still the difference of tires. Hamter pitted like 6 laps before Harter and has mediums. Harter has low fuel, lighter car, fresher tires, undriven, not driven, tires which are clean. Basically he didn't drive with those tires in qualifying, so it will be rapid. He will be in Napola's pace, and Napola is spinning now. And Napola will be taking the soft tires to the end. And we'll see he takes the soft tires. And Hartzer takes a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. Napola having over 50-second gap to the nearest rival in the Ferrari of Hamtaro. Hartzer is only 4.8 seconds behind Hamtaro, so this might be an epic fight for P2. It's something. And Semi-Larrican is also catching a little bit. So never say never again. And Hamtaro starting his 21st lap, 7 laps remaining in this Grand Prix. And don't leave after the stream. There will be race interviews, there will be winning drivers national anthem, new thing in EFL. And if you just joined the stream, we have had 7 or 8 people crashing or not able to join the race because of disconnections or because of the servers of Codemasters. But we have 4 drivers remaining in the session. So yeah, 2.8 seconds between Hamtaro and Hartzer. And I believe who is going to snatch the fastest lap of the Grand Prix? Is it going to be Napola or is it going to be Hartzer? Hartzer is basically saving his EOS, so trying to burn but saving the same time because he has less than 30% of the EOS left. I'm just gonna quickly check the viewers, any questions currently sent to the stream. Don't worry, I will find a co-partner with me for the actual race, so it will be much more cleaner and much more professional when the league starts. And there we go, no new messages, only the same few saying about can have to retire because they had to go somewhere else. But I'm really positive about the league because I had 7-8 people saying they can make it on Wednesday but can make it Sunday, and now it seems like everybody can make it on Wednesday. I've been just checking the messages, and the driving will be better. It's of course first practice race, people are nervous. It's pretty normal to see stuff like this, but I really hope nobody's gonna be pissed or angry about the incidents, contacts, because it does happen, it's racing. And we will give, of course, when the league starts and in the second race, we're gonna give consequences to the drivers. And we'll see, now it's gonna fight for P2. We'll go for the race because there's still 6 laps remaining of this Grand Prix, and is Hartzer gonna try to overtake Hamtaro for P2? He's gonna dive up the inside. No, he's not. He's waiting for the straight line. He's smarter than that. He wants a little bit wide, doesn't have the tight line, and that will save Hamtaro for another lap. But of course, at this stage, Hamtaro cannot defend this position because the tire difference is so big. It's like 8 to 9 laps, and other one has fresher set of tires, and Hartzer basically weaving in a straight line. To making sure that Hamtaro is so slow with the tires. So, and Naples is the new fastest lap of 1:37.1. So it's currently P1, P2 and P3 for the Finnish lads. Semi-Larrican takes another 3-second time penalty. So 5 laps remaining in this Grand Prix. Naples starting his 23rd lap. Naples is just dominating with his Williams. He's just doing what Williams did in the 90s or the late 90s and early 90s, and in the mid 80s with Nelson Piquet, Nigel Mansell, Jacques Villeneuve, not Graham Hill, what's the other Hill? Can you guys help me, what's the other Hill's name? Not Graham Hill, but his son. And then of course Juan Pablo Montoya, Schumacher's Williams. That's the real Williams we are used to see. And now it's a matter of time actually when Hartzer makes the maneuver on Hamtaro. He's gonna dive up the inside of corner 4. No, he's not. He's waiting for the better opportunity. There's still 5 laps remaining to try the maneuver. Semi-Larrican is losing a lot of times with those hard tires. And now he's getting his DRS open, but he doesn't have enough EOS to try to overtake maneuver. But even with the low EOS, he's able to match his straight line speed, of course, because you get DRS open, you're gonna get more wind resistance, you're gonna get 20 kph more pace, and we'll see. But he got a very bad exit, and Hamtaro is still able to fight him off. So, and there's a time limit on him. There's a time limit with his tires. So, if you're not able to make the maneuver in the next 2-3 laps, I believe the soft tires are going to give up, and then the mediums will have the advantage. So we'll see how this race is gonna, in the end, how it's gonna end. It's only 4-2-10s between the drivers. It's unbelievable. At least they get some kind of fighting. That's the most important thing. And now look at how close he's basically pushing Hamtaro in the corners, but he can't overtake him in a straight line. And now Hamtaro made a mistake, and Hamtaro not wanting to risk his podium. He's probably thinking, right, I've been driving cleanly so far, and I don't want to mess this P3 up by crashing with a fellow Finnish driver or something like that. So very smart driving from Hartz at the moment, and it's paying off. These 2 drivers are more than likely, without any mistakes, are going to finish in a podium. And oh my god, it's so close. Hartz is so close, diving up the inside of Hamtaro. Hamtaro is not giving in. They're both leaving each other enough space. But who's gonna get the DRS? Who's not gonna get the DRS? And I believe Hamtaro doesn't get the DRS. It's still Hartz was behind the detection zone, and he will get the DRS. He uses low EOS, but he still might get past him. And is Hamtaro gonna defend the inside line? No, he's not. But Hartza is not trying to overtake him. He's waiting for the other straight line. And Hamza always gets a good exit from this corner, but now looks like he didn't. And is Hartza gonna line up a maneuver on him or not? Hamza is not gonna defend the inside line, and he's gonna dive up the inside. Yes, he is. And he wants a little bit wide, and he will give the position back to Hamza correctly, widely, because he ran right in the corner. Couldn't make the car stop, and it's round 3. And is it round 3? Is he gonna try to overtake corners 15, 16, 17? No, he backs out of it. He backs out of it. And look at how slowly Hartza has to drive in the corners. He basically has to lift off because of the status of Hamza's tires, and that's the difference between fresh softs and worn medium tires. And it looks like it's only a matter of time. He only gets one good exit to get past of Hamza. And Hamza's losing a lot of time to his fellow Finnish driver. Naplo is just dominating this race. 42 seconds. Of course, Naplo 185 being Gavra League's champion. He's a Gavra champion. Gavra League, which is a simulation league. So if there's any Gavra people watching, Gavra, hello to you guys. As your champion is leading the first practice race of EFL. Of course, a lot of stuff have happened, and not everybody's made it for the race, but first practice race win is always first practice race win, because I don't believe Naplo is gonna mess this up. He's not gonna bottle this up. If you have 42-second gap, 3 laps remaining, you're not gonna bottle it up. And now we'll see, you're gonna see a dive between Hartza and Hamza, and it looks like Hartza is a little bit struggling right now with the soft tires. As Hamza, okay, now Hamza didn't get such a good exit, or he pulled away a little bit, but Hamza is just probably focusing all his power on that one corner to make sure Hartza stays behind, and he's gonna dive up the inside of Hamza. He's gonna try to maneuver. Are they gonna be clean with each other? They're going side by side, and Hartza lifts off. He lets Hamza go. This is gonna be the battle of the centuries in the EFL. Who of the Finnish service is gonna finish P2? Is it gonna be Hartza? Is it gonna be Hamza? Who's gonna be? Stick around. There's only 2 or 3 laps remaining in this Grand Prix, and Hartza is pushing a lot of EOS at the moment. And if I would be him, I would actually save it, because if you have less than 5% of your EOS, that means you're not going to be able to pass him. You're going to lose a lot of engine power in the next laps. And he does a 142.1, and Napla is just... Is Napla... I was watching, is Napla lapping them? But I think Semi Larrican is going to try to take the fastest lap away from Hartza, I mean Napla and Hartza, so he'll be pitting for softs and trying to break Napla's fastest lap. Yes, he takes the soft tires. As of course after the race, we're gonna see the race interviews. Yeah, how these drivers. I especially want to know how did Hamza and Hartza feel about this battle between P2 and P3, and Hartza doesn't have any EOS left. He's running 2% of EOS. I'm pretty confused about this. Like, what? That was almost a crash. And now he has 8% now. Okay, now he's much more closer than he was before. But, like you see, he's not gaining that much anymore. But he is enough. And is going down the inside of Hamza, and he made a maneuver happen. Beautiful maneuver from the Finnish driver of Hartza, who got past of Hamza, dropping him to P3. Semi Larrican will try to get the fastest lap away from Napla in the last lap, so very good timing for Semi Larrican. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, but now we're gonna see, is Hamza gonna be able to keep up with Hartza or not? How the time penalty is gonna play in the end. And now Hartza having 6 laps, all softs, and he was a little bit wide, and he allows Hamza getting to the attacking distance, if you must say. But when is Napla? Napla is almost lapping them all. That's the pace of Napla at the moment. I've said so many times, but I'm just... Ah, that is crashed! Hartza has crashed from the session! He's made a massive mistake! And there's only 3 drivers who are finishing the race, but I don't know what on earth happened between Hartza. Hartza just made a massive mistake And we have actually 8 drivers, 1 driver who did not start the race, and then we have 7 drivers who retired from the session, so now we have only 3 drivers remaining in this Grand Prix. Unbelievable. My prediction of nobody finishing the race is coming close, because now Semil Arikan is gonna, after driving last the whole race, he's gonna finish P3. I can't believe Hatsa bottled it like that, and Naples just starting his final lap, almost 1 minute lead to P2. That's the domination of the Williams. That's the Williams you saw in 1992 when Nigel Mansell was battling Riccardo Patrese and Ayrton Senna for the win of the championship. As Hatsa frustrated, he left the session. He has to wait for the podium for another time. It's gonna come someday. It's a promising lad. You never know what's gonna happen, but currently two people who don't want assists beat all of the assist drivers here today. Of course, we had like Germany, Brazil 2019 lottery, but now Napla, we're gonna follow Napla. He's in his final lap. He's coming towards the corners 12, 13 and 14. He's gonna make a new fastest lap. No, he is not, but he is forced to be reckoned with when the season starts. What an unbelievable performance from the Williams driver. Didn't do the qualifying. Didn't start the qualifying, but Semil Arikan takes the fastest lap away from Napoli with a 1:37.8. So that's a new fastest lap, of only new lap record of EFL in Abu Dhabi. So Arikan will get the lap record of Abu Dhabi in EFL. As Napoli is coming towards the corners 19. He's coming towards the corner 20. Driving so carefully, and Napoli is going to win the first practice race in EFL. Napoli, you are a race winner. Congratulations. And then we're going to wait for P2 for Hamtara to finish the race in P2 and Semil Arikan in P3. So there's a Williams and 2 Ferrari drivers who are going to finish in the top 3. But I could imagine the smiles of adversity in the face of Napoli, who won his first Grand Prix in EFL. He came here 11th place and he moved up 10 positions and won the Grand Prix. We're still gonna wait for Hamtaro and Semil Arikan to finish the Grand Prix, as I believe Hamtaro's tires are actually given in, but it doesn't matter, it's the last lap, last corners, and then we're gonna wait for Semil Arikan. It's not these drivers' fault that what happened was happened, but these drivers do deserve the top 3, as Finland takes 1 and 2. First time in EFL, as Hunter finishes P2. I'm sorry that I'm laughing, but we kind of discussed before the race that these drivers are not going to finish P1 and P2, so it will be very fun to do these interviews between the drivers. And Semil Arikan is going to finish in P3. I hope we're going to get all the drivers to the interviews, as we're going to hear what happened in their point of view. It's Napla waiting to me, boy. Yeah, it's kind of boy, and here you can see Napla and Hamtaro. And yeah, I'm just gonna save the screenshots, and I'm gonna ask these drivers to join me to the podium interviews. And these are your interviews: Napla, Hamtaro, Semil Arikan, and non-retirements. Retirements: Hartza, Hardline, Toxic Tomato, Alfonso Gomez, James Killer, Louis Wassman, and Chipsman Quancy. And Napla, if you're in a party, please say to Hamtaro that he has to join the interviews. He has to join the interviews. He just has to. What a great result overall. And I'm going to invite Napla to the party. What a win. I have to do it old-fashioned way. So one moment, guys. Apologize for this long road. And one moment. Where is Napla? I'm going to invite Hamtaro here today. So I'm sorry if you see a blue screen of that, but Hamtaro will be joining to the podium interviews. So I believe I took a screenshot already, but it's Napla, Hamtaro, Semil Arikan, and non-retirements of Hartza, Hardline, Toxic Tomato, Alfonso Gomez, James Killer, Louis Wassman, Sips McConson. I'm going to take a new screenshot if I forgot to take it. But what a Grand Prix we had here today. And we're just going to wait for the podium interviews to happen in EFL. I hope we're going to get some drivers to the podium interviews. Somebody has joined, as I cannot see, and it is the race winner, Napla 185, and we're gonna wait for Hamtaro, and Hamtaro joined the session also. So, and Semil Arikan I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but Sami Lavikan said he cannot join the universe, but... Okay, okay. Okay, Robert, okay. Oh man. Okay, Napla. Congratulations, you won the first race in EFL. I'm so laughing. I have to get the moment. I have to get the moment. Okay, be quiet guys, be quiet. Okay, Napla, you won the Grand Prix of EFL. First practice race. Tell us how the race went. Did you expect that you're gonna win the race?
After over 95% of the grid left, so yes.
But
it was only like you know, it was winter test and the first
yeah,
day,
winter test, yeah.
Nobody just it doesn't matter, you know. Everybody's sandbagging.
Yeah, but did you? But how much does this give confidence when we have full grid in Wednesday? That you won the first Grand Prix by 55 55 seconds closest rival Hunter. So how do you feel at the moment?
What?
Let's see on a Wednesday.
I can't keep a straight face. I'm crying. I just can't.
Kysyit se multa jotakin.
En sulta mitään kysynyt.
Race was really unbelievable.
Onks Hunterilla aina komne päällä?
Kai se on.
Okay. Okay, Hunter, how did your race go? Can you tell us, did you expect that you would finish P2?
Race was amazing.
Do you expect that you can do this performance again next time?
Yes, of course.
Are you happy?
Yeah, really happy.
Really, okay. Napla, this moves you to P1 in, I guess, practice races championship, but can you expect that you might challenge these drivers in a real season?
Let's see. You never know what happened in the next couple of weeks, so let's see.
Okay, because we have two Finnish drivers finished in the podium, I'm gonna ask you Finlandia or Maamelaulu?
Both.
You wanna hear both? Okay, we're gonna hear two national anthems of Finland. It's kind of Finnish thing, so we're gonna hear Finlandia. I'm gonna try to find.
Just got the stream.
We're gonna hear national anthem of Finland. Alright, then we're gonna listen a little bit of Finlandia, because why not? Because we have two Finnish people in the podium, so...
Leito paranoi.
Alright, and that was Finlandia. Thank you everybody who joined the stream, and unfortunately we had so many retirements in the session. I do apologize for that, but I'm gonna make sure that it's second practice race. We're gonna have full grid, and this will not happen again. But it was actually an entertaining race. It was like Brazil and Germany to the 2019. But yeah, I was Eric. Podium reviews with Nappel and Hamto, and have a pleasant evening and good night.